So it's try to imagine if you still had a car from 1965. We do a lot of maintenance on this thing to keep it running well.
In 1965.
Yeah, there you go. It's a classic. We're gonna get an antique license plate for it. So let's just start fielding questions.
Right, so what's the most challenging thing about driving?
So when you're driving, you can only see. There's the cab. This is one of the cabs. There's one on either end. You really can't see as much as you would think you could see.
Right.
The turns are the most challenging thing out here because a lot of the turns were right at the max angle that the crawler can turn, which is 6 degrees. So 6 degrees. So you have to hit your marks. That's what we call them. We have to hit your marks, and kind of embarrassing if you don't. But really, that's the most challenging thing. And then certainly docking. You know, when we start to pick up a structure, when you start to dock, you've got to again be on your marks. We've only got about a half an inch either way to play with, so it's got to be very accurate.
When you say that it's embarrassing if you don't hit your turns, what does that actually mean?
That means we stop. You have to back up. All your buddies make fun of you, and it's really it's pure pressure. It's nothing technical, but it's just embarrassing. You know, it'd be like trying to back up in a parking spot twice. You know, and holding up traffic. So, and then John gets on me about schedule.
I have a question. How often do they have to put down new rocks?
So we put down new rocks about 2013. I know what they do is after we run over, you see how we compress these rocks? If you kind of look in the area where your crawler's rolled, we have to come back and regrade them. So we just kind of fluff them up, but periodically we do that. We have someone do an assessment on that. So.
How does one learn to drive one of these things?
Yeah, so it takes quite a bit of time to actually do that. It takes a couple of years. It's experience. You know, we have certain requirements that you have to meet, but it just takes time.
Is it like CDL to the next power, or what is that?
You know, it's unique. So it's different.
own?
It has its own requirements.
Do you get a fancy driver's license?
You know, I wish you did, but you don't.
What's the last item you drove up to the
So I just, well, this.
Okay, but what
Just
was
the other-
on it?
The mobile launch platform. So now when we do the heavy lift vehicle, no one's ever driven that thing. It's a brand new vehicle, so it's going to be a first time for everybody doing that.
Does it feel different when it's loaded?
You know, it's actually smoother when it's
That
loaded.
makes sense.
So this
Yeah,
bottom
right.
one is the crawler, and then that's the...
That's a mobile launch platform on top. Very good. Right. That thing's the crawler itself, the chassis, 6.6 million pounds approximately. MLP is 9 million pounds. Again, approximately. We have several of them, so it's an approximation.
Does it run on gasoline?
Yeah, diesel. 42 feet a gallon.
42 feet of...
Yeah, very efficient.
That's great. That was going to be my next question.
What's the last thing it's launched off?
What's that?
What's the last thing it was launched off of it?
The shuttle.
Okay, the space shuttle was
Yes.
the last one.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about your job?
You know, being out here and actually it's kind of neat to meet you guys too and talk about what we do. So I think that's probably the neatest thing.
What about the day-to-day? Like if we weren't...
Yeah. No, so the day-to-day is actually being and working on the hardware.
Okay.
It's impressive. You know, it's kind of neat to be, you're not just simply, you know, in this job, not just stuck at your desk, but you also get to actually go out and be on the hardware. So it's important to be very intimate with the hardware so we know what's wrong when we have a problem.
How long have you been driving this?
So I've only been driving this thing a couple of years myself.
So since the shuttle retired?
Yeah. That's right.
So you haven't gotten to drive it with anything on top yet?
Just hardware.
Yeah.
Just hardware. And again, it's going to be different, so it kind of really doesn't matter. You know. Now we've got some folks that have been out here since STS2. They've driven almost every shuttle that there was. You know. So, but once you get the weight on there, you can't see it anyway when you're driving. So just
Does it have driver's seat on both sides?
it does. You know what? I'm somewhat vertically challenged, so I always stand up. So the seat means nothing to me. So it's just you always want to be looking at what the tracks are doing where you're at. So you always are kind of looking down on the tracks, and we have spotters. The driver is really not the guy doing the job; it's the spotters. It's the neatest thing ever. So you know, and I was kind of joking about not making a turn, but you know, you just always blame it on the spotters. So the drivers are. around the crawler, watching different systems. So it's really a team effort. So it's not one person doing anything. So the crawler itself, 6.6 million pounds.
6.6 mil.
What's the maximum speed?
So that's classified. With the new heavy vehicle, the preliminary, and it's preliminary speed is 0.85 miles an hour. We can do 0.9 miles an hour comfortably.
0.85
Believe it or not, you start to get a lot of vibration
miles an hour.
at higher speed, so the crawler kind of lets you know when it likes.
How are the speedometer shows?
Yeah. Yeah. We're not doing 2 miles an hour. That's the thing. Yeah, it shows it, but it doesn't. Kind of like your car, right? It shows 120. Hopefully, you're not driving 120 miles an hour, right?
How long does it usually take to get from point A to point B?
Good question. Very good question. So it normally takes us at least. So there's actual driving time. It's about 8 hours. But when we have to dock and we have to load, it's additive time. So sometimes you're waiting on someone to finish something. So it could be several hours on either pickup and.
It's a long day.
So it's very long.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there's been times, 12, 16 hours.
You're in it the whole time, or you go have lunch, come back?
Yeah, no, you rent it the whole time. Yeah, we just stay with it. There's definitely machine anywhere. No, I wish there was.
Did someone bring you lunch?
No, they don't. That's a good idea. I need to talk to John about that. Right? You should be doing that. That's a great idea. So the horsepower, it depends on what you're talking about. Propel motors, there's 2 DC propel motors, right? 2750 each, and they drive 16 of these propel motors. Right here on the end, there's either 2, 4, or 8 per truck. 4 per truck, 16 total. Think about what it takes just to, and then that's the DC power, that's the propel. And then for the AC, it's 2,220 horsepower. There's 2 of those. That provides all our onboard power. That's pretty good. So think about just what the shoes weigh themselves. They're 2,200 pounds each. Think about this. There's 57 of them per tread belt. 8 tread belts per truck. That's 456 shoes per truck. When we talk about truck, we're talking about one on the other side. Yeah, 4 each, 4 total. You got over 1 million pounds worth of shoes themselves. So it's incredible.
How often do you guys have to replace the
So we were talking about that. Oh, good. Yeah, great to see that.
So we back up?
You're fine. Getting ready to actually lift the crawler up. So we can lift the crawler. Yeah, you get to hear that. So the minimum height is 20 inches for our jacking, equalizing, leveling. We call them GELs. You notice the Space Center has acronyms for everything. So when I say that, you ask me what it is sometimes. But GELs. So 20 feet is the minimum. 26 is the maximum. Okay. So we're gonna lift it up here in just a second. Might get a little bit noisy. That's it. But so that question was asked earlier. What we do is 2013 was the last time we replaced the rocks. So they do an analysis on that, an assessment. But we actually go through and regrade them after every run.
So this thing was originally built in 1965.
You know, it's interesting. So when they actually made the castings on this thing, they knew exactly what they were working on. So on the side of the casting, it says Saturn V. Very neat. I mean, how many times do you build something nowadays that you know exactly what it's being made for?
That's awesome.
So it's really a lot of pride. I mean, you think about during that era, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Are they going to stay with this, or is there some innovative
No, we're staying
model?
with it.
You're staying with it. Okay. Hey, if don't fix it if it ain't
Not
broke.
broke, that's
Yeah.
How do you secure that thing?
So 9 million pounds, right? It's not going anywhere. The additive weight. We actually have some blocks that we kind of keep it from lateral movement, but truthfully, it's not going anywhere.
So like a giant crane puts it on there?
What we
Or you
do
drive
is
under?
we drive underneath it, and that's what the purpose of the crawler is. It lifts it off to mounts. Yes.
Ignorance.
No, it's great. Great question.
What happens if you get a flat tire? I mean, there's no tires, but what if something on the wheels were to break?
So call stop. Yeah, and we got to fix it. That's the thing. That's really the neat thing about our job. You know, when everything's going good, it's the best job on the planet. But if something breaks, all of a sudden, you know, it's priority one, and everybody's looking at you. You know?
Hours turn into days.
Yes, right.
Why are they lifting it up?
Pardon?
Why are they gonna lift it?
So we're doing some maintenance on it. Access for requirements. So it takes a lot of work. I mean, you know, just to keep this thing running.
How long will it take to lift it?
Once we get started, just a matter of minutes. You know, a couple minutes. It takes some time. You know, so but I'm excited for you guys to hear that. It's good timing. Really good timing. I think Tracy did that, right? She worked this out. That's right.
Is it clear, you guys, if you look at the crawler stop there, that's the MLB, is that clear to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Each switch?
This is the end of the
The two
crawler
different,
right
like the
here.
silver and the different colors. How it was.
This right here and above is the mobile launcher. So the last thing to shoot off of that was
You just set it down, crawl back, and then after it launches, just crawl back and bring it back. Right. Yeah. That's right.
Are we gonna get to go under it?
We'll see once they get it lifted up.
Okay. Non-turning operations.
Well, there is one little safety issue, and that's, you know, this is a wildlife preserve. So we have lots of wild animals around here, and lots of them will love to sit in that grass right there. And I'd sure hate for you guys to walk over there and something jump out at you. And not to mention, there's plenty of things to hit your head on.
You better know.
Right.
Yeah. You better know. We probably can't do that. Yeah, but you need that.
More than one person has been left with a scar
Right.
Yeah.
walking around this thing.
Right. You ever accidentally ran over a dog or something? You know, this thing doesn't sneak up on anything.
1 mile per hour.
This happened when we were doing B&B testing, going to the pad. We were going up the pad, and I noticed, see, we have a water truck that goes with us, and he drives right down the middle. And as he was driving, I noticed in front of him there was a gopher tortoise hole. And so I went over there and looked, and sure enough, the tortoise was coming out and going for his daily walk. And he started walking up the pad, and I went and told the driver, I said, hey, don't run over his home and don't run him over. He beat us to the top of the pad.
It's kind of embarrassing, right?
I took a cone and brought it back and put it next to his little burrow there, so we wouldn't bother him anymore.
Tortoise in the hair.
So aside from something that's like in outer space or the VA or the VAB, is this the longest running like NASA built, like still functioning, you know, vehicle?
I got it. That's a good question.
Good question. Never had that question before. I couldn't answer it definitively. I can tell you that this was built, they started construction I think in 63, completed in 65. So it's probably older than all of you here.
How many crawlers are there in total? Two. And they've taken care of every single one of the shuttles, all of the Saturns, all that stuff.
All
Where were they
Apollo,
built?
all shuttle.
Is there like a documentation of which crawler did what, or was it just bring out one?
Different pieces were manufactured. The heat
I
treating
get that
was done
question
in
a lot.
Ohio,
Yeah.
and it was actually brought here and
Real
assembled on
answer, no.
site.
Assembled.
And it's a shame, really, because I do get that question a lot, and nobody kept those records. But these guys keep a logbook.
Okay.
It stays in the control room, and so everything that happens on the crawler, they write it down. And so when they were about to go on a mission, you would write down, you know, taking SDS-121 to the pad.
Okay.
So if somebody, my joke is always, I say, one of these days I'm going to bring in a summer student, and I can give them all the logbooks and have them go through every one of them and make a list of which shuttle.
So officially no, but there is a way to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
How many logbooks are there?
a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Some guys are more. They write about everything, the weather and whatnot. It depends on who's doing the authoring. But
So like there's a chance that this crawler was the one that brought Apollo 11 to the launch pad.
Sure. It was either this one or the other. Yeah.
good point.
How many gallons does the tank hold?
5,000.
Where is the tank?
So the tank is right there on the end, right? You see where it says diesel fuel?
Yeah. I do see it.
One on either end. Here.
No, they're built together. They were designed by a company in Ohio called Marion Tower and Shovel, and they obviously you can't transport this thing, so they brought pieces in on trucks and trains, and then they were assembled about where the mobile launcher is there.
So regular gas, how many miles per gallon?
42 feet per gallon.
42 feet.
Yeah, we don't go by miles.
So it's gallons per mile. See, when I was a student, like a middle school student, I was reading, the speed of all these vehicles, and then this thing, like a mile every 3 hours or something like that. And I'm like, wow, what highway does this thing drive on?
Now you know.
Now I know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that still 2019?
We're ready. Whatever.
They'll talk about all
I'm a science fiction writer. My question is, what would make your job easier? Like, what piece of technology has not been invented, or is like, it's like if someone would just do this, my job would be so much easier.
Yeah, so I still haven't really gotten past the thought of maybe John bringing us lunch.
I was gonna say,
around the
besides
house.
lunch.
Besides that,
I mean,
so that would really
that
be.
works.
that
I
would
brought
really-
you breakfast the other day.
He did. It was really good too. But I'm not supposed to have that much sugar.
FYI.
Yeah, just so you know. But yeah, we can automate a number of things. I think automation is one of the biggest things out there, and so we look at doing that. The more things we do, certainly with PLCs to monitor things, that's kind of what we've been doing. We're trying to keep with the times. I know it looks old, antiquated, but there's some pretty sophisticated things on this thing. So very proud of it.
And those are the hydraulics that is just gonna lift it.
Right. Those are the gel cylinders that are going to lift it. Find out where we're going to lift, actually.
You can hear it. Yeah, you would hear it. Yeah. Is there any turbulence while you're driving? Say like when you're in a plane and it's still a little bumpy? Or is it just like really stiff, like you can barely feel anything on?
The additive weight, the more weight, the smoother it is.
Okay.
You can tell, depending on the speed.
Back up a little bit.
Sorry to interrupt your.
No, that's good.
So the heavier one you are.